Greetings, this is July 15th, and we had a comment from Leslie. The worst smoke day in Kamloops so far, clearing up now, can see Peter and Paul. Peter and Paul, those are two landmarks in Kamloops. And Lasa commented, how many weather patterns can we get in one area? Maybe 4 or so? And I was thinking about that. I think between Lillooet and Revelstoke, there's probably 15 microclimates. So variation is what we have in BC. And Trudy commented, we can see blue sky straight up in Blackpool tonight. Fantastic. So there is some clear air moving in. Very smoky day. Let's take a look. I'm going to run the NASA's FIRMS. That's Fire Information for Resource Management System. The links are below, so let's go. So we're looking at the Kamloops area. That's Kamloops Lake in the center of the screen. Cache Creek is on the left. The Shuswap and Sicamous are on the right. And that's how smoky it was. Very difficult to see, obscurity blurred. That's why I'm hesitant about the exact location of infrared. Clouds began to move out. Being pushed from the west, the left-hand side of the screen, to the right, and some people were able to get a break from all that haze. Now we're looking at the South Caribou. We see the Fraser River over on the left-hand side of the screen, and here comes the smoke. A lot of it moved in from the north, plus we had those fires at Sparks Lake. That was also adding to it, so they kind of met in the middle. We're zooming into the Interlakes area. You can see the fire at Flat Lake on the left-hand side of the screen. Bonaparte is to the bottom of the screen, and just right of center is Little Fort. And when we roll into the satellite image of the smoke, on the left-hand side of the screen, you can see the Flat Lake fire. The infrared looks like it's moving from the west to the east, but we can see that recent change in wind direction. It's now coming from the southwest and moving to the northeast. Now we're moving east. We're looking at Shuswap, Adams Lake up in the top left corner, and Mabel Lake down at the bottom. Here comes the smoke, and again pushing from the southwest to the northeast and filling up the valley all around Revelstoke. Next we're going up north, west of Prince George. We're looking at the Chief Lewis fire on the far left, then the fire at the top of the Nechako Reservoir in the center, then towards Nazco, just right of center, and very strong winds blowing in an easterly direction. And at the right-hand corner of the screen down at the bottom, you can see the smoke coming from those interior fires meeting up and pushing to the northeast. Next, we're heading down south. We're looking at the Okanagan. That's Okanagan Lake in the center of the screen. And we can see the fire that's at Okanagan Falls, close to the bottom of the screen center. And if we zoom in, we can see points east of Okanagan Falls, very smoky up to the Okanagan Plateau. But Penticton, right in the center of the screen, looks like they got a break and had a bit of blue sky today. When we zoom into the fire east of Okanagan Falls, we can see that push coming from the northwest, moving it to the southeast. But then when it hits the hillside, it grabs that southwest prevalent wind and it wants to move to the northeast. We're zooming out. We're looking at the southeastern portion of the province. Okanagan Lake is over on the left-hand part of the screen. Alberta and Waterton Lakes are on the right-hand side of the screen. Here comes the smoke, and it's filled in all the valleys and gullies. And you can see how smoke and air act like water. Where there's density, it's going to fill in those valleys. So if you're up higher, there's a better chance of getting some clear air. Pulling back and looking at the southern half of the province, Kamloops is about center of the screen. There's the weather condition for the earlier part of the day. Then the smoke began to move eastwards. We can see up to the north those streams and bands coming off the Nechako area and around Nazco. Very dramatic. If you want to check these out for yourself, go to the NASA's firms link in the description below. Go over to the menu icon on the right-hand side of the screen. Click that. Scroll down until you see backgrounds, and there's blue marble streets, and then there's a couple of VIIRS and a couple of MODIS. You can vary between those two and take a look at the smoke situation in your area. So if you're out and about, please be safe. There's lots of obscured visibility, especially if you're in the valleys and the low-lying areas. You might get a break when you're up in altitude, but watch out for our friends and neighbors out there. Thank you very much for watching. I'll check the infrared now. Keep your nose to the breeze.